want to tell you guys a little story. I just got a call from one of the bylaw inspectors or the bylaw enforcers from the city of Kelowna, and you must have noticed the greenhouse in my front yard. And so I'll just start at the beginning. So a couple days ago, I had the bylaw inspector come by and said that somebody had filed a complaint about the greenhouse in my front yard. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird because I know all the neighbors on my street, and they all know me by name. I plow the sidewalks on my street all winter long. They all know me very well. In fact, I got so many boxes of chocolates and Christmas cards this holiday season, I didn't even know what to do with them all, like, honestly. And so I was kind of surprised that somebody had complained. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. It's probably not even somebody on my street. It's probably somebody who just walks by and, wanted something to complain about. So I didn't hear anything from him for a couple days, so I just kind of let it be. And I knew that if the time came that I could appeal it really easily. My city has actually been very supportive of urban agriculture almost since the beginning of my career as an urban farmer. I was very fortunate in the way I made some of the moves in the early days of my farm and how I worked with the city. And I'll circle back into that in a minute, but I just want to finish the story of the current situation of the greenhouse. So I got a call just now, and this is the reason I'm making this video because I'm so excited. I got a call from the bylaw guy, and he says, yeah, we got a complaint, and I took it to my higher ups. I took it to the other people in the city, and he basically told me that he had so much support in the city to allow me to keep the greenhouse that they have to call the person who complained to inform them that I will be keeping the greenhouse in the front yard. And having said all this, the structure is temporary anyways. These caterpillar tunnels, they're going to be down by mid to late May anyways. So, but it was really funny. All these things will be coming down by mid to late May anyways, not these ones obviously, but these ones are in my backyard. But the real underlying message here is the main thing I want to talk about. The sort of like underlying principle to this is the importance of social capital. And social capital is a form of capital that is basically based on the relationships with people you have. The good things you do in the neighborhood, the friends you make, those relationships actually have an intrinsic value, and in my opinion, far more valuable than any form of money or any form of resource. I think social capital is the most important form of capital. And so how this kind of played out for me is that at the beginning of my career, I did have some roadblocks here and there. Only really one roadblock as far as policy was concerned, but there was other things as far as people in the neighborhood that were concerned about what I was doing. So I'm talking like 8 years ago. But at the very beginning, I did have a situation where I wanted to put a greenhouse on a vacant lot. It was one of my first farm sites, and there was you're not allowed to have any form of secondary structure where there is no primary structure. So there was a bylaw issue there. And instead of, and so I had been warned about this, but what I did was, and because I was reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People at that exact time, and so I thought, okay, how do I approach this differently? Instead of what I used to do is get really pissed off, really angry, and then go and fight it and say, no, you can't do this, and protest or something like that. What I did was, I went in very friendly and in a way trying to help them as far as the city goes. And I made some friends in the city. I met some younger folks, one particular guy named Greg Sauer, who's been quite a long time friend of mine, who really got behind the whole idea behind urban agriculture. And he went and changed a bunch of policies. It took a while to do it. In the meantime, I put my greenhouse up anyways. But he changed a lot of things in the long run. And what he did actually is he, in a way, left a bit of a legacy within the city because he raised the bar. And it was the younger people that came in after him that looked at that and got excited about it. And they started to change things too. So The message here is that if you go in with sort of open arms, being friendly and open-minded and positive, you will have so much more of an effect on the people around you and changing opportunities for yourself and generations to come. And so right now, as I'm standing here today, Kelowna is one of the best places for urban agriculture in the world. I've traveled to many different places around the world. I haven't been to anywhere in Europe, but Australia, New Zealand, all over the US and Canada. Kelowna has the best urban agriculture policy I've ever seen, and that's because they've approached it from a very hands-off standpoint. They've shifted some things to just let people do these things. We're even allowed to sell produce on like a lemonade stand type thing in Kelowna, and there's parts of the US where you get arrested for running a lemonade stand. So it's really cool. I feel really touched in a way, because I was concerned a little bit when I got the complaint, but I knew that if it came down to it, I could probably get support from all the people on my street, because I have a lot of good relationships built with these people. They all know me by name. I know them by name. I live in a real good community, and people who know each other and want to get to know each other, real neighborly type place. And so thank you to the city of Kelowna for being awesome, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope this has been a valuable message and video for you, and we'll talk to you later. Take care.